So I used to think that self-care was selfish. So really for a long time, I remember just asking for peace and rhythm and all of these things. And the reality was God required me to set boundaries, and I didn't fully see that as obedience at the time. And he checked me. And that's what we're going to talk about. What's up? My name is Crystal McLean. I am a wife, a mother. I love the Lord. He's faithful. He's kind. And today I want to talk about 5 things I learned about self-care and boundary setting, and how it even aligned with my relationship with God. How he checked me. How he pulled that. How he pulled it, okay? He did. So I want you to jump in with me. I want you to jump into the journey, because this has not been a cakewalk by far. But I do want to make sure that if you're on this journey as well, that you're not by yourself. Okay, sis, look, friend, cousin, we together in this, okay? We all figured it out. So I did put my notes, because I want to make sure that as I've been taking notes and documenting on this journey, that you get all the tea. You get all of the roller coaster ride. So 5 things I learned about self-care, boundaries, and obedience to God is number 1. I'm going to jump straight in, because y'all ain't got time for all the other stuff. I'm going to jump straight in. Number 1, I realized that I, deserved it. And if I didn't create boundaries and self-care and all these things, nothing else would grow without it. What do I mean by that? As a business owner, as a mother, as a wife, as someone that is watching things grow around her, the biggest problem that I feel like I was facing is that I didn't have a rhythm. Everything was off, right? I was constantly getting burnout, and I would be everywhere, and it was almost like I would wear as a badge of honor, like, girl, you everywhere, you doing everything, and I'd be like, yes, child. That ain't cute, okay? It ain't cute to be sleepy. Like, it's not cute, okay? I had to tell myself that, like, ain't nothing cute about you walking around here with bags under your eyes, like. So, number 1, I realized that I deserved it. Like, I deserved to take care of myself. I deserved to nourish myself. And if I didn't create a rhythm and a routine, nothing else was going to shift around me. I was going to forever be burned out. I was going to forever be tired. And I realized that even while creating all of these things that I feel like was really great stuff, that what I was impacting the most, and I always tell business owners as a business coach, I always say your biggest wealth generator is your mind, your ability to create, right? And I didn't realize how much I was bogging my mind down by being everything and being everything to everybody and nothing to me. And so that was one thing that I realized, is that I talk about growth, I want growth, but I was not really positioning myself for growth because I was super burnout. Okay. Number 2, some people, I want you to put this in your soul. Bury it, baby. Put it in close. Let me come in close. Some people will not be happy for the boundaries that you create, because they benefited from the lack of them. What I mean when I say that, there are some people, when you actually start creating boundaries, you start creating rhythms, you start really prioritizing things and all of that, there are some people that will not be pleased with that, even though now you're taking care of you and all these things, because they actually benefited from the chaoticness of it all. They benefited from your lack of boundaries, and they would prefer you stay in that rhythm of no rhythm, right? So they would prefer you stay where you were burnt out, where you were overwhelmed, where you were all these things, because they benefited from your lack of boundaries. So this is really a important time that I had to navigate through, and it helped me assess who's in my circle. It helped me assess like who's around me. And until you really sit down and actually assess, you really don't know who's who and what's what, because it's like everybody's getting a version of you, everybody's getting a piece of you. But until you actually sit down and be like, okay, like, what's your role in my life, what role do you play, and you start to assess stuff, I promise you, until then, you'll see who's who. Until then, I'm jumping ahead. Number 3, me creating self-care, boundaries, and making sure I was fully obedient to God in this journey. It actually created a rhythm, a routine, and a structure to my life that I didn't even know I needed. Like, y'all, like, can I just be real? Okay, I had no structure. I mean, I had none. And you know how people be like, it's like organized chaos. Like, I know where everything is, but it's, whatever. I legit, like, I do feel like, because there was great things happening. Like, it was like great, massive things happening for my professional life and for the businesses and all these things. But no structure. All right. Like, it was nice. I would be up to 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning working on stuff, be right back up at 6 a.m. And, it was, and now it's like, no, like, I shut down at a certain time. I have a nighttime routine. I wake up with a morning routine. Before I go to bed, my stuff is out. And I know we've seen videos about like creating all these systems and stuff, but like, I legit did not have one, and I didn't recognize me not having one was even tied to self-care. See, here's the thing that I had to learn. And maybe you trying to figure this out right now, because I didn't know, okay? But self-care has more to do with nail appointment, spa appointment, beach trip. Like, it has so much more. Hair retie. Y'all know. I just got my retie. It has so much more than that. Okay. And when I realized that I was not positioning myself to win by not having boundaries or not creating a system, like I created a system around the business, created a system around it, but no system for my life, then I recognized, like, man, and as a mother and as a wife and as a being in ministry and a daughter of the King who has a devotional time that wants to sit with the Father and learn from him and read his word, like, how? When you waking up barely existing, right? So I started creating this rhythm and this routine, and I started practicing it. The other thing I didn't recognize that I didn't really exhibit a lot, I ain't gonna say I didn't have it, I just didn't exhibit it, is the fact of time management. I'm talking about, like, I would be late. It was almost like on purpose, but it was like not on purpose. That don't make sense, but it does in my brain. Like, I would be like, okay, I gotta be there by 9:30. So it only take me like 10 minutes to get, not true. It only take me 10 minutes to get there. I didn't factor in drive time. I didn't factor in, getting dressed, nothing. And I'm like, and every single time I was late. And it was when the Lord really dealt with me during this time, and not to say I'm done, like, I may come back next week and be like, baby, it's something else you gotta work on. But it was while he was dealing with me specifically around time management, because one of the things he's been dealing with me on is my time, my talent, and my treasures as a kingdom citizen. And what I realized is that we grew up around this common rule of like lateness, right? It was like, my aunts and them, like, even with my mom, they would say, like, girl, you're gonna be late to your own funeral. Like, they would say stuff like that, and we would laugh. And so, like, some of the same behaviors that I saw exhibited, I began to do in my life, right? And I didn't realize that it was becoming a pattern until really when the Lord pulled my coattail. I was like, so you late because of what? And it was when he really said, it's not funny that you're late. Because who? Who you talking to? Me? Okay, got it. It's not funny. It's not cute. Nobody's laughing. Anyway, he got me. So I guess I was just calling myself getting y'all because I got. But the reality was, it's not cute. It wasn't. It's not funny. It's nothing funny about being late. It's not funny about, like, we make stuff like, oh, if I'm gonna be late, I might as well give me a Starbucks. Like, it's not cute, right? And so, and he even showed me, like, you value your time, of, like, people showing up on time and all of that. You value your time because you believe your time is valuable. So what will make you think that somebody else's time is not valuable based on you showing up late? Like, what will make you think? And I was just like, amen. That wasn't in my notes, but whatever. Just thought I would say that. So it helped me create a rhythm, a routine, and a structure that I didn't know I needed. And then number 4, I didn't realize that this one was big for me, y'all. And this, again, is 5 things I learned about self-care, boundaries, and obedience to God. Number 4 is I didn't realize how much of a reflection it was on how I handled my relationship with the Lord. Let me break this down. I was reading this book. I think it's Thrive Through It by Brittany Cole. And one of the like, before the chapter start, there's always like a quote before it. And one of the quotes that was before that chapter pretty much said, your reflection. Matter of fact, because the book right here, why I'm struggling. Find it. I'm going to find a quote, okay? Because this is a Christian-based book, but I'm gonna find a quote.
A few moments later.
So, the statement actually came from Iyanla Vanzant, and we know Iyanla, if you're very big in even the TV community, like, she dope. But her quote was, and this is on chapter 7 of, if you've ever read the book, Thrive Through It by Brittany Cole. It's a really dope book. Just finished it last week. But what it said was, how you treat yourself is how you treat God. You are the representation of God in your life. And I could go so deep with that because I didn't recognize that how I was treating myself as a secondary, like, kind of like as an afterthought, was honestly how I was showing up in prayer. It was like, if I get a chance, if I get an opportunity, like, if I could study, like, it just was always kind of like an afterthought. And I recognized that same behavior of putting me as an afterthought of, like, if I get a chance to sleep, or if I get a chance to take care of myself, if I get a chance to work out or whatever, then I would do that. But it was also how I showed up in my relationship with the Lord. And so I would say I didn't really realize that my lack of boundaries, my lack of self-care showed up as a reflection in how I treated God. And no more. Okay, so now it's more so like, no, our prayer routine, our devotion routine comes before anything. It's the first part of my day. And me then, right after that, is me taking care of myself. There's a moment where I get to pour into myself, whether it's through moving my body, whether it's through making sure I took my vitamins, whatever it is, right? It is time pouring into myself, journaling, whatever. That is what I need for me. And then the world, other stuff, other tasks and things like that come. Okay. Number 5, this is the last one. I want to say the biggest thing that I learned in all of this is that it's a journey of evolution, that I will forever be learning myself in a new way. This season has taught me so much about me. I'm in therapy now, y'all. Because who is she? Grown. Okay, that's what she is. She grown. So I've lost over, at this point, I know well over 20 pounds. I look different. I'm gonna put some pictures so y'all see how your girl was out here not taking care of herself, so you believe me. But I recognize that I am still on this journey. Something I said yesterday to my husband, I used to always say this thing like, I could never be a housewife. I could never be a homemaker or whatever. I would say stuff like that because I believed that was boring, right? Until I started doing it. So like y'all gonna see some little recipes or whatever that I've been posting, but I really enjoy taking care of like cooking real food for myself and for my family and knowing what's going in our bodies. Like that matters to me. And that used to not be a thing. I used to say dumb stuff. Like I'd be like, but did y'all eat? Y'all ate? Like I made sure y'all ate. Like, you know, I'm that modern woman or whatever. I would say stuff like that, but I didn't recognize that it was coming from a place that was fully unhealed. And now that I'm healing and I'm learning myself and the things that matter to me and my priorities and all of that, I'm just like, I like to cook. I like to take care of my soul. I like to work out. Okay, not gonna do too much. Anyway, I really do hope that, friend, if I'm talking to you, you are the person that is burnout. You're the pillar for everybody that you know, spouse, family, you know, community, whatever. They're always looking to you for guidance. You're over giving, you're overextending. I want to say this and I want to hold your hand when I say it. This is me holding your hand. You are no more obedient by being a people pleaser. I'm holding your hand. God doesn't look at you any better because you take care of everybody else but you. Self-care is not selfish. And you just got to get clear on what matters and what don't. Some stuff just don't even matter. So that just, you wipe that off your plate. I learned during this time being off of social media. I've been off social media for, like main social media, like, you know, Instagram. Well, I was never on TikTok, but Instagram, Facebook, all of the things or whatever. I didn't realize how much it zapped my time. But the reality is, you don't also recognize how much you take on stuff that the world has put on you. And it don't even gotta be like super deep. Like it's just like, oh, I should be further along, or oh, I should be doing this, oh, my business should be doing this, oh, I should launch this. You never really realize how much you take on that stuff when you are in it, right? And so now just being completely clear from that, for however long that the Lord says I need to be off it, I'm doing it because I just want to be clean and I want to hear from him. And if he say don't do that right now, then don't do that right now. If he said this is what I need you to launch, then I'm launching that. But the reality is I really want you to make sure that you are not being like I was in the last season. You're not being everything to everybody and nothing to you. Unfair. And it's going to take you having to get back away from people pleasing to get to a place where you get in balance and sync with God, what he's telling you, because he loves you more than you even love you. He loves you. And he don't want you to burn out and to be overwhelmed. And his will is that your soul prospers, that you prosper even as your soul prospers. So he couldn't want you to be burnt out. So anyway, I really hope that today you recognize that, you know, you love God, yes, but you're still overextending yourself, yes. And you have to make sure that there are healthy boundaries going forward. I'm just your big sis, your big cousin, your big friend that's just sitting here just having a good old conversation with you to let you know that you matter, that you're needed, and that you're mission essential, and you are necessary. And so we need you to get some rest, and we need you to take care of yourself in order for you to be everything that God called you to be. That's all I got, friend. 5 things I wish I knew, and 5 things I have learned about self-care, about boundary setting, and about how all of that reflects my obedience and relationship to the Lord. I hope you learned something today. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. I hope you put a comment below, and comment below if this resonated in any way with you. If anything I said today resonated and it's going to prompt you to make a different decision. If you have a question, drop it below. I will be answering those. But really, friend, I want you to be strong in allowing yourself to somewhat be weak. And what that looks like is that you're going to put some stuff down so that you can walk in strength and power, knowing what to say yes to and what to say no to. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.